Hello，大家好，欢迎来到麦麦的翻译盲盒，好久不见。这一期呢是拖欠了大家非常久的 AI 与口译话题。首先呢，抱歉，我已经答应大家会出这么一期，但是拖了这么久。原因呢，首先是我去美国出差了10天，之后回来呢又感冒生病，休养了一段时间身体，现在整个状态已经调整好了，而且也已经跟我的朋友约好了时间，所以我们现在先请他出来。我身边这把空椅子就是给他做的我要把我的语言切换成英文了。This is a long overdue video, as I said before, and finally, both of us are available for this sit-down interview. Now, please let us give Dr. Muhammad a warm round of applause. Please, Doctor, come to our camera and say hi to my followers. Sit down, please. Thank you so much for taking your time. So, guys, here he is, the AI professional I was referring to earlier. It's not easy to book his time. Actually, it's not easy to make both of us available for this interview, but we're here. As I said earlier, this is Dr. Muhammad Al-Tuwaidi, who is from Yemen, and he's currently pursuing his PhD here in China. And we are good friends, and he is basically the only one I know who's really doing something seriously related to AI. The reason why I want to do this video is because so far when it comes to the relationship between AI and interpreting, all we have heard about are something from those veteran interpreters, i.e. an interpreter's perspective. But we have never heard anything from an AI insider's perspective. That's why I want to do this video so much. And next, I'm gonna give the floor to Dr. Muhammad Al-Tuwaidi to have him introduce himself better, definitely better than me, to everyone here. So, Doctor, the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me. I finished my bachelor degree in algorithm analysis and design, which is a part of automation and AI in general. And then did masters in Internet of Things, which is deeply involved with AI. And then I went specifically to deep learning. I believe that most people think that AI is very specific. It's a small base of machine learning or deep learning, but that's actually a misconception.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but for me, AI is very, very specific. Like you said, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, just these models.
Now, these are just generative models. They
Right.
are a very small area of AI. If we talk about machine learning, deep learning, and AI in general, AI comes first. AI is the entire subset, and then a small part of it is machine learning, and then a small part of the machine learning is deep learning. So AI has existed for a long time.
All right.
Yes. It's just now that we are seeing these generative models that everyone refers to them as AI, but they are a small area of AI in general. So as I said, AI has been there for a long time.
Right. See, this is very educative and informative. There's no way I could introduce Dr. Al-Tuwaidi than himself. That's why the self-introduction from himself is so crucial. Doctor, I kind of want to explain to you why I want to do this video in the first place.
Okay.
I posted a video around a month ago, which is quite popular on the internet, especially on Reddit, this platform. I got a lot of discussion, and this video is about how AI is pushing good interpreters out of the industry, and how the industry itself is getting less and less friendly to human interpreters. And it's not really because how AI can really deliver good interpreting. It's more about the anchoring effect at the client's mindset. They believe that, oh, AI can do it. I don't need humans anymore. Humans are simply just not as fancy as those AI models. That's why I kind of posted this video to criticize this phenomenon. Of course, I garnered quite a lot of discussion. And actually, I do want to quote some comments here, just for you to understand what are people's, or at least the Chinese, thinking behind this phenomena. I especially want to quote those that are not very friendly,
Okay.
then you will understand why people are questioning my view, because I don't think AI can replace human interpreters.
Yes.
I just don't think so.
Mm.
Thank you for saying that. But let's take a look at how people believe at first.
Okay, if there's something that we can say even before looking at their comments is that
Okay.
I have always believed that AI is not an existence, it's a tool that you can use. So it's up to you. And I have said this in not just in interpreting, but in so many other fields that people are asking me, is AI going to replace so many fields, even writers, programmers, accountants, sales representatives? These are the ones that everyone portrays as the target. It makes sense that AI can replace them, but in reality, AI is a tool for those smart people who can use AI to make themselves better. Of course, so many people will be pushed out. Those who are in fear, those people who keep questioning themselves, they don't have trust in their abilities, they don't believe in themselves much, and they don't actually have much talent, or they don't have talent at all. Those will be pushed out, of course, not by AI, but by people who are smart enough to use AI as a tool and push those away.
Bravo, that's so well said. And I have to quote what you just said and echo them back to some of my comments there, because I think some of the comments are from the exact kind of people you're referring to. So let's take a look.
I might have a piece of cheat because I have seen your post and I know how idiotic some of the comments can be.
Yeah, but I have to point them out just for my followers or whoever is going to see this video to really get the idea of, oh my god, are they really thinking this way? I'm going to mainly quote these two type of voices. The first type is, now we're in a different time. We just came back from an exhibition like Canto Fair. We have bumped into many foreigners, and all these foreigners, first they would have WeChat.
Yeah.
And then with WeChat, you can already achieve a certain level of communication, let alone other clients, they would bring some sort of interpreting machine with them. So at least with this guy, he does not believe that AI cannot replace human interpreters, because he already see that it looks like AI models or those so-called machines are already replacing human interpreters. They're already communicating for humans, fostering the communication. This would be the first type of voice I'm receiving. And there is another one that is especially, I don't really have the word for it, you just have to listen to it for yourself. So this is what he said. Interpreting is gonna be a dead end. Why are you still sitting on your ass but not change your profession? What, you want to die? Excuse me, if I want to do interpreting, then it definitely means that I want to die. Most certainly no, I don't want to die. But as you can see how far people will go just to veto my opinion. And this is the, well, mainly two types of voices I'm having here. I wonder, do you have any thoughts on them?
I believe in constructive criticism, but when it comes to comments like this, it has no sense at all. So I will just.
All right. Actually, I did prepared a question list for you.
Okay.
I want to ask you about the relationship between AI and interpreting in general, and then maybe at the end of this interview, we can generalize the profession and talk about AI and human beings. I do have the first question here in my hand. So how AI interpreting actually works? Can you explain? And please, it should be not that academic. I know it's your specialty, but you have to make it understandable and reachable to us normal human beings. So at the level between academic paper and marketing fluff, how AI simultaneous interpreting systems work today?
We know that AI works on what is already available on the internet. It's like a very, very sophisticated search engine. You can think of it as a super Google kind of thing that can gather information from everywhere and model it for you and just give you the answer.
Right.
But it actually depends on what's already there. So if we are talking about interpreting, say simultaneous interpreting, how it works. So if there's a device or an agent, an AI agent, that works as an interpreter, I will say something. It will take my voice and convert it to a text.
Okay.
And then the text will be translated based on what is available on the internet. It can be an open source, so it can be from Google, it can be from Wikipedia, it can be from anywhere. Any available source to the AI, it will take it and translate. And this is where the first bug comes from, because it takes it from open sources like Wikipedia, and we know that Wikipedia is not trusted at all. I can write anything in Wikipedia, even if it doesn't make any sense, or give my opinion, and it will be there.
Yeah, I do feel related to this part, especially when it comes to basic facts. AI can even get basic facts wrong. I remember I had a gig. Well, I just need to know who is the current Canadian Prime Minister. And he gave me the last one. Can you imagine how awkward this is? How it will make me look like in front of my client? I'm making the most basic fact wrong. So please, my fellow interpreters, you have to double check the facts when you use AI.
And that's a very important note. And there's a fun example you can try. You can ask AI generating a photo, like even those AIs specific for photo generation. Ask AI to generate a photo for a person writing, and it will give you a person writing.
Yeah.
And try to ask the same AI agent to give you the person writing with the left hand.
Okay.
It will not. It will give you the person writing with the right hand.
Because most people out there on the internet write with right hand.
Yes,
But there must be still some who are writing with their left hand.
Yes, but AI doesn't search very deep until it gets to your specific requirements.
Okay.
It will just give the most general one, because there are millions and millions and millions of pictures and photos. It's very difficult for AI to dig everywhere and find that. So if you insist and keep prompting and prompting and prompting, maybe after the 7th or 20th time, you might get that photo.
Understand.
But yes.
Understand.
So that's just a very basic idea of how AI works. It just grabs everything and maybe get the most common thing and give you that as an answer. And going back to interpreting, so my voice will be converted to a text.
Okay.
And then that text will be searched, and then the translation will be searched, no matter the source where it's from. And then it will be translated, and then text will be converted to an audio by the AI agent.
Right.
Yes, this process can be very fast itself, but AI learns from itself. So if there is a little mistake while saying the first sentence, of course the person will correct that, but AI will fixate on this thing, and it will change the entire context based on that. And it's very difficult to roll back.
Okay.
There are so many bugs and so many things to take into consideration when it comes to interpreting, and specifically when it comes to simultaneous interpreting, say confidentiality. We'll not dive much into that, but confidentiality is a huge matter when it comes to AI.
That's true.
And accents. It's very difficult for AI to grasp on accents.
Oh, I did get one comment from my last video saying that how AI model or some sort of machine can identify various accents. Is it true? Can AI do that right now?
If you look at it from this perspective, then yes and no. If I have a very specific accent, then I cannot just use any AI. I have to take a specific AI and train it myself. And training process can take a very long time. And it will be only familiar with this precise accent that I'm training it on. Take, for example, Yemen. 20 or 30 different accents.
Understand.
Yes. So if you want to train AI, it can be only one accent. Say, for example, so many Arabs, they don't pronounce the P. They pronounce it as B. Even if you train the AI that Arabs or some Arabs pronounce P as B, it will be totally confused. Which one is P?
And I can imagine how costly and time consuming to train it just on one accent?
I don't want to go that technical, but you can search about this.
Yeah.
If you write one prompt in ChatGPT, just check how much the resources are consumed. It's huge.
Yeah.
And that's an already existing model. If you want to train your own model, it's going to be very expensive and very consuming.
Yeah.
And very specific. So it doesn't make sense for someone to train an AI and spend that much money for a very specific accent or very specific reason.
I understand. Well, sorry to distract you. Let's go back to our question here. And I do have one sub question under this one. I want to start this sub question by explaining how interpreting works for our interpreters. For example, if it's from English to Chinese, then we hear the English at first, we need to understand it and process it into meaning. We don't do word for word interpreting. We need to process it to meaning and then somehow restore that meaning in a different kind of language. This is how human interpreters work. At least this is how I process information. I wonder if this is the case with AI.
Yes.
Does AI understand the language? Can it restore it at meaning level? Even meaning is such an abstract concept. Can it do that?
Here we are talking about simultaneous interpreting. So even if AI can understand such things, it can understand idioms and all that, and figures of speech. AI cannot figure out when this is a figure of speech and when this is actually...
it cannot.
Yeah, it cannot decide that. So it has to ask you first. Do you mean this or that? Do you put it in this context or in that context?
Right.
Say, for example, if you say insult and injury, we have this kind of idiom. If someone uses it in the context, AI will not be able to distinguish, okay, is this where I use it as literal or as a figure of speech?
Understand.
So it has to confirm with you first. And if it's simultaneous interpreting, that's going to kill the mood, I think.
There is not enough time for a model to do that. And for interpreting, context is key. Context is crucial. You need to be able to extract the most precise, correct meaning at that moment in split of seconds. And we don't have time for AI to confirm, do you mean this or that? We simply don't have that. Even as human interpreters, we need to learn to read the room, read the air so fast. We just need to do that. So at least when it comes to identify meanings based on context, AI cannot really do that.
Yes, and let me ask you this question.
Okay. Okay.
Based on your interpreting experience, how many people were native English speakers? And how many of them were like French, Italians, and people with accents?
Well, I can call myself an experienced interpreter, and I have to admit I don't get a lot native English speakers. Most of the time they are from all the other countries with thick accents. Thailand, Italian, and French people. So yeah, not many.
So even if you interpret for a French person and then another day you interpret for another French person, the thickness of the accent of this person can be different from this person. And
different.
Yes, even the grammar and all that, it's going to be a disaster for AI to process such things. Yes.
Understand. Well, this is a very, very interesting thing. It's very interesting. Now, the second question is the comparison of AI's current capabilities versus real-world interpreting scenarios. Basically, it means that where do current AI systems actually perform decently, and where do they reliably fail?
I have one take divided into 3 sections, but I think you must have something to say at the end of this.
Okay.
Okay. We can say that AI can be very powerful when it comes to line-by-line translation.
Translation, yeah. I do think it's very strong in translation.
Even that, there are so many things that AI cannot do. As I have said before, when it comes to confidentiality, so many people would not trust the internet in general to do such things because, as we know, there were leaks even in the most sophisticated companies like Facebook. Big companies with big legal concerns would not trust the internet for such a thing.
Right.
But when it comes to normal translations, it can do really good translation. But even with that, after the file is translated, you cannot blindly trust AI on that. You have to check. And this is where the strength of AI comes. And it performs less strongly when it comes to interpreting. But don't even get me started on simultaneous interpreting, because that's going to be a disaster. So, yeah, if we
Thank you for saying that.
if we evaluate the strength of AI, it's going to be translation, interpreting, and then down below would be the simultaneous interpreting.
Since today we're mainly still talking about AI and interpreting, I do want to refocus a little bit here. At least with interpreting, what I know that AI might be strong at would be those highly technical scenarios like legal, medical, maybe accounting, things like this. But when it comes to, well, emotion, for example, I highly doubt if AI can really precisely capture that emotion, because sometimes, especially with we Chinese people, we don't really say our emotions out loud. We imply them through the tones, and it's so delicate. I just don't know if AI can do that. What do you think? Is there anywhere AI is particularly weak at? Can AI read emotions?
It can read emotions, but the accuracy is not good at all.
You have to be very obvious about it. Like, I'm happy, then you have to ha ha ha. I'm laughing. If you're crying, then oh, I'm crying. It's so obvious. You have to do that, right?
Well, something like that, and this cannot be practical in very sophisticated meetings and things like that, because you have to, as you said, read the room and act accordingly. We have another thing, like another concern when it comes to interpreting, and it's the improvisation that AI does.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I suffer so much from that.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
say for example, if there is a dinner meeting, and it's very important discussion going on, then say for example, if there was noise and you as an interpreter couldn't capture what the other person said, then you can ask, like,
Yeah.
can you clarify that?
Yes, I have to do it.
Yes, but if there is noise, then it will of course affect the AI agent. It will not get the full picture, but it will start improvising to
That could be
reconstruct.
horrible.
Yes,
Yeah.
so the discussion can go
Way off topic.
Yes,
Way off
exactly.
topic. Well, I didn't really had the first-hand experience in putting AI into interpreting, but when it comes to translation and improvisation, it's so bad. AI is so bad.
Yeah,
And it makes itself so credible.
exactly.
It looks so credible, like generated this based on what you gave, but dude, this is not what I'm giving you at all.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't even know where the AI gets that answer from.
Yeah, I use AI a lot in my research, but I have to be very, very careful, because I have to cross-verify everything. I have to be, even with coding. Of course, AI is really good at coding, but even with that, I have to
Still.
cross-verify, because if it gets a little bit consumed, it can just give you some answers just to satisfy you and let you, okay, just leave me alone or something like that.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting.
I think programmers would understand this. Like, sometimes when we are using ChatGPT or Claude or DeepSeek, at some point you feel that this model started acting dumb. And sometimes it will fake results just to give you what you are asking for.
That is very dangerous.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
very
it
dangerous.
actually does that.
Okay.
Even in coding. I have tried it.
Well, in translation, it definitely does that. It definitely does that. It omits things, it's making up things, it does all kinds of things to make you think he already delivers. Why am I using he? AI is not a person. It delivers. Sorry about that. Okay, now we go to next question.